If you want to know what you can create with Unity, I recommend watching a Made with Unity video. For these videos you can go to unity.com, Made with Unity, to find this page. Here are several projects showcased that can inspire you to get started yourself. Unity is a game engine. You can make your own games using the Unity software. To start using the Unity software, it is advisable to go to the Unity website and then download the Unity Hub for your operating system. If you've downloaded the Unity Hub, you can launch it and it will ask you to log in with your Unity ID. If you don't have a Unity ID, you must create one. I assume you'll figure this part out. If you're having trouble installing the Unity Hub, then you should seriously ask yourself if game development is a thing for you. It's better that you find out now than when you've already put many hours into it. Good luck. If you want to start a project, you will first need to install a Unity editor. Changes and improvements are made to the versions of Unity on a regular basis. If you follow a tutorial, like this one, it is recommended to see which version the teacher is using. This way you can be sure that your Unity functions are the same as those of the teacher. Sometimes the differences are small, but especially when you are just starting to learn, it can be annoying if things are different on your screen. Here you can install a Unity editor. If you're going to make your own projects, the Unity editor version doesn't matter as much, unless you're looking for specific functionality that's only available in a specific version. If you are not looking for anything specific, it is advisable to select an LTS version. This is a long-term support version. We are going to install the 2022.3.16 F1 Unity Editor version. On the next window that appears, select the modules that you want to include in your install, then select Continue. If you don't know what modules you will need, you can always download these later. It's recommended to add Visual Studio if you don't have a code editor that's compatible with the Unity editor. I have Visual Studio already installed on my Mac, so I can't select it. In addition to installing a Unity editor, you can also start a new or existing project here. There is also a specific section where you can follow tutorials of Unity to learn how to use the Unity editor. And finally, there is also a section where you can find links to various resources from the Unity community. This can also be a very helpful way to tackle specific problems. Let's start a new Unity project. From the Projects tab in the Unity Hub, you can start a new project. Unity tries to help you with a few templates, but if you're just starting out, it can be confusing to choose which template to select. For now, we'll choose the 3D template. After selecting this template, you'll need to enter a name for your project and select a location where you want to save it. You can keep these boxes unchecked. Don't forget to select the Unity editor version you want to use for this specific project. After this, you'll have to be patient for a while before your project opens. But then you can get started making your own first game. A Unity project is made up of game objects. A game object can be the main character, a sound effect, a light source, or a camera. You can add a script to the game objects. In this script you can have the properties of the game object adjusted, depending on a certain state in your game. You can write the script with the C# programming code. Modifying properties of a game object ensures that a game is interactive. The player can make choices and thereby change the state to which the game then reacts. Let's take a look at the different panels in the Unity editor. The toolbar is the bar at the top of the window of the Unity editor. Here you will find some buttons for your Unity account, and a button that allows you to customize the layout of your editor. The most important thing you'll find here is the play button. With the play button you can have your project run by Unity. If you want to test whether the functionality you have added or modified works properly. You can test it with this play button. In the hierarchy window, you'll find all the game objects you've added to your scene ordered. It's often easier to select a game object in the hierarchy than to search for it in the scene view. The scene view is the window in which you can place and adjust the game objects. The game objects that fall outside the game view are visible in the scene view. In the game view, you can see the result of your scene as seen by the camera. Here you can see the result as soon as you press the play button. The camera shows only what you want to show the player. If you select a game object, you can change the properties of the game object in question in the inspector window. Since you have different types of game objects, each with its own specific properties, the inspector window adjusts depending on the selected game object. In the project window, you will find all the assets that you can use in your project. If you add assets to your project, you can find them here. From your project window, you can then add them to the scene view. In the status bar, you can see which processes the Unity editor is working on. If your project contains a bug, a message will show here. If you want to get a more detailed description of a bug, you'll have to go to the console. The console is a separate tab from the project window. Here you can find useful information about a bug, but you can also send information from a script to the console. This can be extremely useful when testing a feature and when you're looking for a bug. Let's test this out by first adding a game object in the scene view. First, we right-click in the hierarchy window, select 3D object. From the pull-down menu, select cube. Immediately we see a bunch of things happening. There is a cube visible in the scene view. In a future lesson I will tell what the colorful arrows mean. In the game view we look straight at one of the sides of the cube. We can change this view, but this is also something for a future lesson. In the inspector window, we see a list with properties and values we can change. You guessed it. This is something for a future lesson. Now we're adding a script to the cube. Select the cube in the hierarchy window, then press Add Component in the inspector window. Select New Script. Give the script a name, Test Script. The script is added to the test cube and is visible in the project hierarchy. Double-click the test script from the project window. The script opens in Visual Studio, but only if you installed it with the Unity editor. If this all went right, then you see the script in Visual Studio. For now I am not going to explain all the code you see. We are just going to add a single line of code to test if the installation of Unity works okay. This script is run when the test cube is loaded in the scene of the game view. The start method is a function in the script that's run before the first frame is updated. A thing for a programmer is to test if everything works by sending a hello world message to the console. That's what we are going to do. Between the curly braces of the start method, we are going to place our first line of code. Debug.log, double parentheses. Between them double quotation marks, hello world. And don't forget to end the line with a semicolon. A thing in programming is that it's very important that you type everything exactly the same as I did. A capital or small letter can create a bug. So take your time to type the line word for word. If you've done this right, and you don't see Visual Studio complain about something you've typed, you can save the script. Press Ctrl S or Command S and you can return to the Unity editor. The Unity editor probably needs a little time to process the script. But after this we can press the play button to test if everything works. If you've done everything correct, a message appears in the status bar. We can open the console to see if the message did appear here. If so, the installation process is a success. Please like and subscribe, so you'll get notified if a new video is uploaded. More people will get this video in their search result when they want to learn Unity game development. Thanks for watching. In the next lesson we'll focus a bit more on the C# code. And we can make our first small program.